combating nutrition disinformation and general bull. It's Jimmy Rants. JimmyRants.com.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another Instagram Live, and I'm here with another episode of Jimmy Rants. If you're brand new to Jimmy Rants, it all starts at JimmyRants.com, so you can learn all about how this works. But we go on Instagram Live a couple times a day, talk about various issues in the world of nutritional health and just whatever is of interest to me. So go follow me at Livin' Low Carb Man, LIVINLOWCARBMAN, over on Instagram. And you can engage in the content live, just like Lauren and Keto Nana and Robin and Miss X Tina, all these people who have come in already. Then you can watch the replay for up to 24 hours. And then we pop it over onto YouTube so you can see all of the past episodes of this here show. And then we also have a Jimmy Rants podcast that you can engage in the content through audio. So go check it out, guys. JimmyRants.com. Today's Jimmy Rants is once again a little bit off the beaten path of what I normally talk about when it comes to nutritional health. But I think indirectly this is related to health as well. And it gets to the heart of where we are as a society. So you might have noticed that narcissism has kind of crept into the general culture where it's all about me, the selfie generation. People are full of themselves. Let's just be quite honest about it. And they're so full of themselves and so wrapped up in who and what they are that perhaps they've lost perspective on how they got to where they are. And so this Jimmy Rants is all about showing appreciation to those people who helped get you where you are. Because here's the thing. We all want to pretend like we have all the control of what happens in our lives and that we are the ones that set our own destiny. And I'm a big believer in work your butt off. If you desire something in your life, work your butt off and you'll achieve it. But even in the midst of working your tail off, you still have people help you along the way. I'll give you an example in my life. So when I started blogging in 2005, I had just lost 180 pounds on the Atkins diet. I started this blog. Nobody knew who I was. Didn't really have anything in the community of health and nutrition, but I wanted to share my experiences. So I started writing this blog, and next thing you know, I get this email from this guy named Dr. Johnny Bowden. And Johnny had been an author of a book at the time called Living the Low Carb Life. It's now called Living Low Carb. And Johnny encouraged me. He said, Jimmy, I love what you're doing. I love the branding, Living La Vida Low Carb. I think you're going to go places. And he was an encourager to me, an influential encourager that I don't think if he had not seen the value that I could bring to this world, that I would have necessarily been successful. I don't know. But he certainly provided that boost early on as an influential person in my life. So I thank him very often whenever I talk to him. And thank you, because you were one of the few people that kind of really early on encouraged me. Another one was the guy that found me a year after I started blogging, and he said, if you talk half as good as you write, you should be a podcaster. His name is Kevin Kennedy Spain, and Kevin is my producer on all my podcasts, and he was the one that saw the talent in me even before I saw it. And he was an influential part of my life. And I often tell him, and I credit him for my success as a podcaster is because of him. And so you find these people along your way, along the journey. And I can continue with one more example. So I started attending some of these obesity conferences and meeting all these medical doctors and researchers in person. And one of the medical doctors that I met, I was sitting next to and didn't know who he was. I was sitting next to in one of the lectures that there was some lecturer that was talking about this complex metabolic pathway it was like a PEP-C pathway. And this guy leans over to me and he says, shouldn't that be a diet Pepsi? And it was Dr. Eric Westman. And it was at that point that I realized, wow, we have people that are out there that are influencing me. And he helped me along the way. Sometimes he helped pay my way to some of those conferences because he saw the value that I added getting the word out. And so now that I've been given all of this opportunity, thanks to just those 3 people, there's a lot more along the way that I could mention, I can now be that influencer in someone else's life. And I think that's the way it's supposed to work. And sometimes I'll help someone and they'll be, oh, how can I repay you? And I go, help the next person. Because if we're not all helping each other get to that next level, why are we here? Why are we doing what we're doing? And especially within the context of what I do on a day-to-day basis of trying to educate, encourage, and inspire people about keto and about living healthy and getting healthy. If we're not in this together to try to help each other and to be encouragers to each other, I know in this day and age, it's so hard to not think about yourself because everybody seems to be so consumed by their own work and them and their own selves. I saw this quite a bit in the paleo world, by the way. When I was involved in the paleo community, there were a lot of islands, and those people didn't want you on their island. They would kick you off the island anytime you try to get close. And I don't see that in the keto world, thankfully. A lot of the people in the keto world, we're trying to help each other because we know the rising tide raises all ships. And we try to be encouragers. We try to be loving, and we genuinely are. Most of the leaders in the keto space, we all like each other. We really do. And we all help each other. And behind the scenes, we're encouraging each other because we know we need more and more voices to change this world. So that's what I wanted to share in this Jimmy Rants is stop and think about the people in your life who have been most influential to you and show appreciation. And when I mean show appreciation, I don't mean like, oh yeah, I'm just so appreciative of. Tell that person, write them a handwritten letter, do something that shows how much you value them for their worth in your life. And it's a lesson that I think if more people acknowledged the people who helped forge the path for them to do what they do now, how much cooler would this world be? How much more nice to each other would we be? And how much less absorbed in our own selves would we be if we did all that? All right, guys, let's see what you guys have to say. Welcome in, welcome in. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you being here, guys. Oh, hello, Paula. Si saludable oficial. I know I just destroyed that in Spanish, but it is what it is. Jimmy's the number one influence of my life when it comes to getting over the fear of putting myself out there. Yeah, we've had many talks, me and Paula, and I told her we need your voice. She's trying to reach the Spanish-speaking market with keto, and we so desperately need that. So I've encouraged her to definitely get her voice out there. Kimberly Jackson Simmons, you've done the same thing for me since I met you in Chesapeake. I gave so much in the works for next year, or I have so much in the works for next year. Thank you, Jimmy and Christine. Yeah. And see, here's the thing. If you have a passion and you have a desire to do something, what's holding you back? Maybe you just need somebody like me or someone else to just give you a good kick in the pants that says, go do it. And it's not that you really needed that, but getting that kick in the pants motivates you to get going. You're one of the biggest influences I have in the keto world. Thankful for you. Thank you, Keto in Pearls, North Carolina. Appreciate that. You guys are awesome. I love you guys. Rising tide raises all ships. Yep, that's exactly right. Grandma does keto. I love Dr. Westman so very much. Between pointing at newbies at you and Dr. Westman in your books and now Real Food Keto, that's how I thank you all as my influencers. Yeah, if you want to support the work that people are doing. Like Dr. Westman has these heal clinics, and he's trying to raise money for those that's trying to make a ketogenic clinic for diabetes and weight loss. If you want to show your appreciation to him, go be an investor in the heal clinics. Buy our books, and a lot of you guys do. But more than that, go deeper. Go to the individual and tell them, write to them, even if it's as simple as writing on a Facebook wall. If you're writing an email, if you really want to get personal, you can write a handwritten letter. Those things mean so much to those people who have influenced you in your life. Very appreciative for all your work. Thank you, Katarina. I appreciate you as well. Thanks for always paying it forward. I've learned a lot from people I've heard about from you. Thank you, and I'm going to slaughter this. Ishiza Shizhikaki Shizhishand. Ishizakishan. Zakishan. Ishizak. Okay, I just totally slaughtered that, but it is what it is. I'm thankful for you too, so thank you for being here. Nini's Keto Pantry. I lost my mother in March. I wish I knew about keto when she was alive. It could have helped her. She was the best influence in my life, but it's her bad lifestyle that's going to get me healthy. And you honor her, Nini, by living your life and living it and pursuing it in such a way that you honor her memory by now making better choices. So kudos to you. All righty. Well, thank you guys for being here for this Jimmy Rants. JimmyRants.com is the website, and hopefully you go and show appreciation to the influential people in your life, because if you're not showing that appreciation, how do they know? How do they know that they've had any influence? And guys, it takes just a little bit of time. Just take just a small little bit of your time to share with people that have influenced you, that you love them, you care about them, you honor them for what they have done in your life. And how powerful is that? And I've had two friends this week that have lost loved ones in their life. One lost his mom, and another one lost her grandmother. And it just poof, gone, just like that. And they were both influential members of their lives, and they didn't have a chance to say those things before they left this world. So don't delay. What better present could you give someone than to tell them how much they have meant in your life? All right, guys, JimmyRants.com is the website. We start off on Instagram Live, so go follow me there at Livin' Low Carb Man, LIVINLOWCARBMAN. And you can engage in the content like these wonderful people did today. You can watch it on 24 hours or up to 24 hours on replay on Instagram. We then pop it over onto YouTube. And then we also have a Jimmy Rants podcast that you can access all of the content. JimmyRants.com. And until next time, we'll see you then.